County, 1930. This southern town in Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird was a boiling pot of white supremacists, the fire fueled by their common distaste for the Black population. This bitter taste that had been prevalent continues today, the painful nostalgia of a nation built on lost dreams. A nation that in fear would silence the minority, one that in fear would breathe life into the flames of hatred, and one that in fear would attack those who dare to stand up. Every day, Black mothers fear for their sons and advise them in preparation of these situations. Only respond with yes, sir, or no, sir, or my name is Michael Brown, I am unarmed, I'm reaching for my ID, and I have nothing to hurt you. It'd be senseless for her to advise her son to defend his rights. The next time she'd see him would be on the face of signs out of protest. A Black man is always guilty, says the law. A Black man deserves no due process, say police officers. A Black man has no voice, say communities across the nation. Burning crosses dot the otherwise empty Alabama fields. Men in white robes congregate around them. The hatred was real. The lynchings were real. The group mentality of the white communities were real. And it hurt. Stung like the whips that dotted ancestral backs, and it's painful, like every time I see someone like me perish in the news. Another martyr for a cause. Another martyr for a cause. Now, don't get me wrong, there are people in this time of oppression who tried to help. Just look at the North in the heat of the civil rights movement, hiring for decent paying jobs as welders, shipbuilders, and machinists. Desegregation rates in schools were on the rise. Things were good. Atticus was the North, endured endless persecution, yet worked tirelessly to defend Tom. The thing about the North is, there's always a South. Unforgiving and relentlessly discriminatory, it takes more than one Atticus Finch to right the wrongs of a nation. A southern town with a dark spot. A claim was made, and the citizens, in fear of various things, reacted in both positive and detrimental ways. The Blacks, instead of words of defense, turned to hymns and spirituals. Their counterparts, in fear of having the same rights as those dirty Blacks, retaliated with hatred, prejudice, and severed further ties with the Blacks in their community. I, like Atticus, refuse to be silenced. I refuse to be another martyr. Harper Lee, To Kill a Mockingbird. Black versus white. Macomb County, 1930.
Don't you just hate having free time? Wouldn't you prefer to be doing homework than, I don't know, anything else? Probably not. It's human nature to put off unnecessary tasks till stress kicks you into overdrive, and most people feel ashamed about this, that it's a bad idea. But I'm here to teach you how to harness your laziness and become a master procrastinator, like me. Now, you may be thinking this is some type of joke, or some way to make myself feel better for my lazy tendencies, but it's not. At least not entirely. There are three main reasons why I want you to try my way of life. 1, procrastination makes you more creative. 2, unnecessary tasks fall off. And 3, it's easier. Procrastination makes you more creative both consciously and subconsciously. Too often, people sit down to work without a clear idea of what they're actually going to do. This leads to things like writer's block or work that isn't as clever as you truly want it to be. Many authors and different types of writers will have some schedule where they won't work for the week and jot down notes, and then on the weekend can get out more work than if they would have sat down every single day with this dreaded time management system. While procrastinating, your mind goes through a similar process, and when you finally get down and do your task, you'll have a greater array of ways to start, and when you finally do it, you'll be able to find the best solution quicker. Secondly, procrastination can boil down this confusing muddle of life and show you what's really important to you. Everyone has those days where their to-do list is longer than the time it takes to do it, and that's where this part kicks in. Sometimes when you've sat on something for a long time, you might look at it and not even remember why it was on your to-do list in the first place. This could be because it's no longer important to you or necessary anymore. Sometimes when you look at it, it will reveal that what you're working on is no longer the right thing. This can help do things like find out what you want to do for the future. And finally, the reason that's most important to me, it's easier. In today's society, people are too stuck up with the constant hustle and bustle that sometimes it's necessary to take a step back and a breath in. Everyone's so busy doing what they do that sometimes it's important to take time for yourself and take time to do what you want to do. Everyone has these days, and everyone has procrastinated in the past, and everyone so far has felt ashamed of it. But I believe that procrastination doesn't actually get a bad rep because people procrastinate poorly, but because lazy people procrastinate poorly and don't get their work done. But if you follow the strategies given, I believe that procrastination can be beneficial in the long run. Thank you.
Think back to when you were 5 years old. You probably got away with a lot more than you can today. Your parents probably saw you as a perfect little angel, so it didn't matter how many times you messed up or broke a plate or how many times you tried to run away, your parents would always tell you, it's okay. But you're not 5 years old anymore. Your parents know that the world is getting tougher by the day, so there's no time to be silly or try run away. They're sizing you up to all the kids around you, and suddenly you're not their little angel anymore, but rather you're irresponsible, unaware, and thoughtless, and there is no other thought going through your parents' mind except, why can't you be like those kids? But parents are hypocrites. They act like there was never a time where they couldn't count by twos and tie their shoes, and even as adults, they won't pay the bill on time, yet they have the audacity to ask their kids, can't you do any better? They talk about this kid who got the perfect SAT score, and they talk about that kid who never missed a free throw, but they never talk about their own kid. Looking for what to do with all that potential, looking for ways to get their parents to say, I'm proud of you. Every kid wants to be the best of the best, but behind every child who believes in him or herself is a parent who believed first, a parent who took pride in every single accomplishment, no matter how big or small it may appear, a parent who said, if you ever need a hand, I'm always here. You can't expect a child to do better by making them feel worse. So when you put your child next to another to see how they compare, you're letting them know that you won't be there to pick up the pieces when they crumble under pressure. You're letting them know that you see the cracks in the masterpiece they've been working so hard to create, but worst of all, you're letting them know that they're not doing good enough. We all need a chance to prove ourselves. We all mess up. And you know what? It is very likely that we will continue to mess up because that's the way it should be. It's not about being perfect or getting it right away, but rather about growing every single day. So we cannot let our parents' standards make us afraid to fail. You take this from a girl who tried so hard to meet standards set so high that she had no other choice but to realize that she's doing good enough for herself. And you know what? That's all that matters. So if you have a problem, solve it. If you have a question, ask it. But most importantly, if you have a goal, you do everything that you can to achieve it, because there is no guarantee that we will ever be able to meet the standards set by our parents. But when we know what we want, when we're sure of it, and we put every ounce of effort into getting it, that's when we reach our ultimate potential. Thank you.
So, you've just been given an assignment in English class. The paper is slapped down on your desk. Your eyes widen in horror by the words free verse poem. The clutches of anxiety close in on your fragile teenage psyche because of the sheer number of daunting variations of poetry. but a heavenly light shines down upon you, and you know exactly what to write. A haiku. Billy Collins, Poet Laureate of the United States, his favorite poetry form, the haiku. He writes, "Mid-winter evening, alone at a sushi bar, just me and this eel." This is the beauty of the haiku. It's simple, elegant, refined. So why is it such an overlooked form of poetry? And 17 syllables is perfectly bite-sized for our apparently minuscule millennial attention spans. So you're telling me I can write a haiku and study chemistry? So who needs the length of epic poetry like the Iliad and the Odyssey, Shakespeare's plays, or, God forbid, Chaucer? Because the thing is, at Brentwood, we are just too damn busy. Trying to write the next Divine Comedy is just a bad idea. But when you say, "Miss McInnes, baby, can I please write a haiku?" she gives you this look that says, "What are you, stupid? Or just dumb?" Actually, a Harvard study says haiku writing makes people more clever, and that haikus stimulate the mind in ways other poetry cannot. Haikus are intelligent. Take this haiku about getting out of bed. No. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Please no. No, no. 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 But the haiku is just as relevant and beautiful as Shakespeare or Milton or Chaucer. And more than any other type of poetry, haikus are incredibly diverse. Take this haiku love poem. My love, preserved, your icy white complexion, refrigerator. Now, haikus are often seasonal. Take this one about winter. I wake, reluctant, too cold to get out of bed, but I need to pee. But the only problem is space is limited in a haiku, so it's hard to finish what you... Thanks.